All right. Okay. Welcome to Plugged In Chatham-Kent, your business podcast. I'm Andrew. I'm going to go around the table. I'm with...
I'm Quentin Solomon.
I'm Jared Lund.
Where are you from?
We are Exordia Creative.
Okay, thank you. You guys are the marketing gurus. Don't be shy about it. You guys are marketing gurus.
Okay.
So I'm really glad to have you on here because we get so many questions about marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually got a podcast which is going up live today, so you're going to be going on tomorrow.
Awesome. Cool.
And it was a business that when they were in, and we suddenly started talking about marketing and how they do it. But you do marketing for other businesses.
Yes, we do.
So tell me, what? So when did you start? When did you start this?
So we started back in 2017, and our story is kind of funny. We started back in Hamilton. I was in school at McMaster. And Jared was at school at
I was in
UT.
Mississauga.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we started in my bedroom type sort of deal. Like if you want to.
That's a lot of businesses start in the garage.
Yeah.
You're starting
And that's how we started.
Yeah.
And we really didn't have success until we were into our second year of business. So we were hustling really hard, laying the groundwork, trying to get clients and stuff. But that first year of business was a real learning curve for us.
We did pick up a couple, and we're super grateful for the clients who did put their faith in us early on. Mm-hmm. But it was definitely a slow start. Yeah, for sure.
Like when you say you learned something, so what sort of things were you learning?
Like patience and stuff like that. Patience and understanding how to take a no.
Okay.
How to take a no from people.
Yeah.
Because when we were starting out, like social media in 2017 is nowhere near where it is today. Everybody understands now that they have to be on social media.
Yeah.
They need to be putting out content and bringing value to their customers. Whereas in 2017,
it was
just
a harder sell.
It was a
sure.
It was a harder sell.
And we get told that we look a little bit young now, so you could imagine maybe like almost 3 years ago it was a bit harder to legitimize ourselves.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah,
I'm just being super honest. It was
But I think it's important to tell people that it's not always going to be a fast start, and if you're not super successful right off the get, not to be discouraged.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Quentin said, building patience I think is a big part of it.
So you're up there, and you came back to Chatham area.
Yeah, we came back to Chatham.
We never would have guessed that we'd be finding more business in Chatham. We would have assumed, we're going to have to head to Toronto. We're going to have to stay in Hamilton or Mississauga, these bigger markets, because there is more money up there, and there's just so much more potential for reaching out to businesses. But what we found is it's also a very saturated market.
Yeah, that's fair.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, there's other businesses in Toronto.
Yeah,
Who would have thought?
Yeah, exactly. There's world-class competition there. Competition is fierce and it's really steep, and it's an older market, so it's a bit harder to penetrate.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Chatham, we found that people were, like we were saying, less receptive to social media, which didn't work in our favor. But what worked in our favor was less people were trying it, so there were more kind of fresh starts and opportunities for us.
Absolutely. So we originally went to high school here, born and raised here, went off to school, and then we came back.
You're one of the come back groups of people.
Exactly.
So that's awesome. I'm going to let our tourism and resident attraction group know like you're one of the big comeback successes.
Yeah.
So. And then you started working with, if I'm not incorrect, the Small Business Center, right?
Yep.
And you went through the Starter Company Plus?
So I went through, originally, back in the day, I started my first business when I was in university in first year. I started a landscape company, and I used summer company program. Shout out to Rosemary, back when she was an economic development officer back then.
with the small business center,
so she was awesome, and that's how I kind of got my feet wet in business, was through that.
Gotcha.
And then we did go through the Starter Company Plus program too.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, very valuable. Very valuable.
We just had 19 people yesterday.
Oh, awesome!
Sort of graduate through that program.
Great.
So there's a whole cohort that's coming out, and it'll be pretty cool.
Next generation.
So the next gen. We gotta prove that Chatham-Kent has this entrepreneurial spirit. And, that's what I love about you guys. You're out there. You're doing this. This is great. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. You're expanding already.
So at this time we're not able to bring on full-time employees per se and get into the whole payroll thing and stuff like that. But we are utilizing local contractors for video editing, for graphic design and stuff like that. Because if there's one thing we've also learned about business is that in order to create a true business, you have to stop working in your business and work on your business.
Right.
And that's something that a lot of people, it took us a long time to understand that.
Yeah.
We don't want to be video editing for the rest of our lives. We have to grow the business in order to succeed. So
Gotcha. So video editing. I see you all the time out there shooting video. What's your role over?
So I work mostly behind the scenes, but I'm doing the content creation side of things as well. So a lot of the time, my relationship with Quentin is he will take photos, he'll take video, hand it over to me, and I'll create the captions, do the copywriting.
Here you go.
Schedule the content, and manage the communities of like the Facebook pages and Instagram pages that we run.
That is a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it's an underrated role.
Absolutely.
I think.
And you would understand that too.
But this guy, he does a ton of work too.
Oh yeah.
So I think that's kind of, we divide and conquer, so to speak.
Nothing makes me laugh more than we go out, we do these events. You go to an event, everyone's like, "Hey, congratulations, we're all done." I'm thinking, no, we're only halfway.
Yeah.
We're only halfway finished. The rest of the story has to be told.
Yeah, sure.
And that's the behind the scenes part.
Mm-hmm.
So good job, both of you.
For sure.
Thank you.
But
it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I appreciate the amount of work you have to go through with that. Let's see. I already bugged you about your website. I didn't tell people on here that it says under construction.
We have a landing page up right now. Our website's under construction. We're working on it. We want to beautify it. We want to make it pretty. So
feel free to come check it out.
There's you can still link
you can follow.
Yeah.
But you're also on social media, right?
Of course.
We dabble.
You dabble in social media.
Yeah.
What's your handle?
At Exordia Creative.
Okay.
On everything.
Okay, this is the skill testing question time when I start asking what things are. Like, what's your website address?
www.exordiacreative.com.
That's one thing that we were certain to establish right from the beginning. Before Exordia was anything, before we licensed our business, we made sure we locked down our handle on every social media platform. And whether it's now defunct, whether we don't use it anymore, whether it's a Snapchat handle that didn't get used, we made sure that we had that brand consistency just for awareness sake and making sure that we're easy to find.
So your MySpace page is really popular.
We do not have a MySpace page. Should we be on it?
No, probably not.
We'll lock in the handle just in case.
I mean, if you start a band, I heard bands are still on there, but I don't know if anybody else is actually using that. So are you on TikTok? That's the big question.
So let's talk about TikTok.
Okay.
We are not on TikTok. We are securing our handle on TikTok.
Okay.
But we don't believe that brands should be rushing out right now and creating content on TikTok. We think that, like we said, you should secure your handle so that if it does come a time where brands are starting to use it and there's money there and there's attention there, which there is attention, but not the right attention yet for the mass audience. So we would recommend securing your TikTok account, but you don't have to make content for it yet.
Yeah, just to be specific, I think the Main Street Chatham-Kent Ontario business doesn't necessarily need to be building a platform on there. But I think larger corporations with international audiences probably should already be on there if they aren't already. But like Quentin said, secure your handle just in case, because people who stuck their claim in Instagram early are being paid dividends today.
Yeah.
So you're better off being early than late.
Yeah.
And it's like there's a good example, Instagram, who in my mind in the past year has finally come out with some business tools to actually make it a business tool versus just a sort of a sharing thing.
Yep.
And that's all that TikTok is at the moment. Aside from being extremely controversial.
Of course. And we could get into how it's not as creative as like a Vine or something like that. And that's another thing we should touch on as well, is that you should... What was I going to say?
You're talking about buying ads?
We have to edit this out.
No, we don't edit anything.
We don't edit anything out?
Well, I want to touch on
good news,
something.
Everyone listening.
I've got something to touch on now that you're talking about Instagram finally introducing some business tools. So earlier this year, Instagram released a creator account alongside their business account. But like we were saying earlier, I'm the one scheduling the post. And what made my job a lot easier is Instagram finally introduced native post scheduling. So it's not the easiest to find. You have to do it on desktop from Creator Studio on Facebook. But if you've already set up a business account on Facebook and your Instagram account is linked, you can schedule Instagram posts in advance, which saves people like Andrew and I a lot of time and effort. So if you didn't know it's out there, it is out there. It just hasn't been, it's been publicized, but it hasn't been advertised about too thoroughly.
It's not huge.
So please take advantage of that if you aren't already, because it saves a lot of time.
What I was going to say was Instagram was in a similar spot that TikTok was at a certain point. So everyone was saying, all the kids are on Instagram. My grandma is now on Instagram. She has an Instagram account, right? So all these platforms, they age up. especially Facebook. Facebook is really starting to age. I mean, Jared has an account just for having an account for work.
Yep.
Like, we're not even really using Facebook, so to speak, personally. So
yeah, and it's one of those things where if your audience is there, and I say this to businesses, if your audience is there, go there.
Right.
But if they're not, don't worry about it, right?
Maybe make an account, like we said, just to have that asset. But if you don't utilize it, that's fine. But you still have it in case the time does come. Absolutely. Yeah.
Because who knows what's going to replace it.
Yeah, exactly.
Or how they're going to transition, especially if they don't create a decent business tool. Like in my mind, Snapchat still hasn't made a decent business tool. It's fun. It's fun. Neat, but it's not a good business. I mean, unless you're dropping $100,000 a month and you're on their homepage stuff. Yeah. But that's not. Right.
And their geotags are cool too, how you can make custom geotags and stuff. But again, I think Snapchat falls under the TikTok, so to speak. A lot of people our age aren't really using Snapchat, except for we have a friend group and stuff. Maybe we'll message in there. But we're not using it at scale like we are on Instagram. We're not scrolling through it when we're bored, and
I think of it as more of a messaging platform than a social media network.
Yeah.
This is so much fun. I never thought we'd dive down this far into
we'd love to.
I love talking about this stuff.
I actually feel bad for Snapchat because a lot of their features, for better or worse, do get, I don't want to say ripped off, but a lot of
borrowed.
A lot of features that are pioneered on Snapchat, we end up seeing on the Facebook and Instagram suites and stuff like that.
Yep.
Like the 24-hour story was a product of Snapchat, and now that's one of the fastest growing products on Instagram. And popularity of stories... popularity of stories is overtaking popularity of posts in a lot of aspects, and people are noticing more engagement on their stories.
It's very true.
Because it's quick, it's bite-sized, it's right at the top of the page. That's super valuable real estate on Instagram.
Yeah.
And they've taken this feature that Snapchat made, and they're making boatloads of money off of it.
Yeah.
So I haven't looked into this. Somebody just mentioned it to me today. Instagram TV, I think that's what they call it.
IGTV, yep.
It sounds like you can do unlimited video length.
Yes, you can.
You can?
Yes, you can.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it's limited to an hour.
Okay.
But we've been making use of it on some of the accounts that we manage. And it's, because it used to be Instagram was only for your 1 minute, show the highlight of your video, right? And then take them over to Facebook, take them over to YouTube, take them over to, well, even Twitter has a 22 minute and 20 second, I believe.
Something like that, yeah.
So it's now become a hub, though. They want that video, too. So they're coming after YouTube.
It's a divisive issue because the shooting is vertical.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore. It's horizontal now. They changed it,
Okay,
yeah,
I stand corrected.
Can you have both?
You can have both. You can do vertical, but I found there's way more engagement on the horizontal because they can tap this little thing in the corner and it makes it go full screen. You can tilt your...
gotcha.
You can watch it in full screen if you want.
I think where the backlash came from was when a lot of creators were first migrating to IGTV. These were a lot of people who had a big audience on YouTube, and they were used to the horizontal format, and they considered it more work to have to also create vertical format. And I think that was a big part of the push as to why Quentin said they went back to horizontal.
I like the idea of being able to have your videos on a few different services because I was at last year on this time YouTube went down for half an hour, but went down and the whole world seemed to just explode because of one platform going down.
Yes.
So if you have a few options out there.
And I would still argue for our clients that video goes over the best on Facebook still. And I think the reason why that is because of the shareability. Yep. It's a lot more native. People can just click it, share it. Whereas if you're going to share on Instagram, you got to send it through your story or whatever. Not everybody clicks on your post that you share in your story. So as far as putting your video out, make sure that Facebook, I would say, would be my number one spot, especially if you're just promoting locally. I would say do Facebook and get that shareability, get the viability out of that.
Yeah, we're seeing, because we have the new digital Main Street stuff. For anybody watching this, you can see the posters in the background. But with the digital Main Street, a lot of the discussion is saying, okay, first let's get you an email, because we're finding a lot of businesses don't even have email. And then let's look at getting on Facebook or getting on one of the major platforms as a launching point. And a lot of businesses don't seem to realize that that's actually, the setup is free. Like you don't have to pay for a Facebook page. There's this misconception, but that's it's a learning opportunity, which is why we have the team out there doing this stuff, and why we recommend that if they don't have time to do that, they go and talk to someone like like you guys,
Yes.
so that they can start to get that regular scheduled content, get that sort of information out there, because it's so vital. Was I hearing yesterday was the Yelp. Yelp can make or break a small business restaurant in basically a month.
People take that very, very seriously.
They do.
Extremely seriously.
They do.
And so if you don't have a presence,
Yes.
You've lost a huge piece of market. So anyway, I don't want to rant about that. I could go on for hours and hours.
But word of mouth is an incredibly powerful marketing tool.
Absolutely.
And Yelp, Google reviews, Facebook reviews, people take those things seriously. Especially from local guides on Google. It's a little badge you can have by your name, kind of to legitimize yourself, show that you've written many reviews, that you know a lot about the local landscape, and a positive or negative review from one of those users, especially like an articulate one with real objective points. That goes a long way.
It really does. So I just got a notification. My pictures are at 8.5 million views.
That's awesome.
So
That's sweet.
Those fake internet points are really adding up.
Yeah. They might monetize that someday.
I don't know how I'm going to do that, but we'll see. I monetize that, I guess, by going to work. Does that count? So what's going on with you guys? What's happening?
Well, there's a lot happening. These last couple months have been pretty crazy because as we've scaled, and like we said, we had to bring on editors and stuff like that in order to manage the workload.
Yeah.
It's been learning that and managing projects and managing this, and then we actually just recently today we got the keys to our new space.
Congratulations!
Yes,
thank you.
So we were originally in an office, and that was an office for somewhere to go to work.
Okay.
It was really not going to be anything more than that, and we just had our desk setups there. We worked out there. We have a sweet coffee machine. Other than that, that's all it was. So now we've just moved into the Blair campus. We just got the keys today.
Okay.
We've got 700 square feet of space to do a bunch of stuff, and we have a bunch of new things that we're going to be rolling out.
We're super excited.
We're super excited about
good.
it. Yeah.
I guess this is a podcast exclusive, but we're just in the process of literally putting the paint up, moving the furniture in right now. So there's not much to see yet, but we're really excited to start sharing a little bit more. Like Quentin said, we literally just got the keys, but I think this is gonna open up a few opportunities for us. One of which that we're really excited to get into is some education opportunities.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So
what that would involve would be us reaching out, or maybe they reach out to us. Who knows how it works? But they could reach out to us, or we reach out to them. Bring in a marketing team from a larger company, smaller company, medium-sized company. They come in, and for a whole day we do a social media boot camp.
Okay.
Type sort of thing. We deep dive into content and things like that, and teach companies. So it wouldn't necessarily be an entire marketing team, even if it's just a proprietor or the president, just somebody that wants to come and sit down and get a deep dive on things.
or maybe the president sends the guy who does their Facebook.
Yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that.
So we want to have kind of like a social media class, so to speak.
Or a
And
boot
that's-
camp. The
or-
joke is
Blair's boot camp.
Blair's
downstairs.
boot
Social media boot camps upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and like walk through the actual settings of that person's account. Is that the idea, sort of thing?
Sure.
We're playing with a few ideas.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe if you were to send one business in, we could do something more intimate. They bring their laptop. We do a deep dive right in.
Yep.
But because of the space, we could also hold maybe something a little bit larger.
Sure.
Like get maybe 10 to 15 people. If we're able to run an event like that, there's a lot of great event promoters in town.
Yep.
Get some catering, make a fun night of it or something like that.
And of course, you'd post all of this on your social
Yeah,
media.
absolutely.
For when these are available.
Yep.
So what was that again? What was your handle?
At Exordia Creative.
At Exordia Creative.
Yes.
Okay.
EXORDIA Creative, because we have been told it's not the easiest name to pronounce, so there you go, in case you were wondering.
It's very Google friendly. How's that?
It is Google friendly.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
Google friendly, for sure.
Yeah.
If you have trouble spelling it, just Google it.
Yes.
It popped up immediately when I did that. So
Cool.
Awesome.
Not that I was doing my homework.
No.
But, just double checking these things.
We appreciate it.
Awesome.
Well, that way I can give you grief if you weren't on Google. I could call you out on it, but you're there and you've done a good job of that. So
Appreciate it.
But now you have to update your address on Google.
Yeah, I think we did.
We already have.
I think we did.
Yep. That's
So is it
55 Forest
Forest
Street.
55 Forest.
Okay, good. So
Yeah,
I
that's
have the
good.
right address.
So we
there.
were at. It's so confusing. That's the other thing about the office space we were in. We were behind MC Business Solutions.
Okay.
Okay, but our address of 49 Jeffrey didn't show up on Google, so we just did Queen Street, 170 Queen Street, Unit 2. But every time we would have a client meeting or something, we'd have to go downstairs. We'll meet you in the back parking lot and then guide them all the way up the stairs. So this will be a little more ease of use. The navigational signs are going in on Friday at Blair's. So
yeah, come on in, guys. It's totally legitimate.
It'll be great to get some foot traffic because we're amongst really good company. There's a lot of cool businesses in there.
Really cool businesses.
That we're excited to shake hands with, get to know. The Blair brothers, shout out to them. They've been very hospitable.
Yeah. Awesome.
So we're excited to get some workouts in the gym, talk to the other businesses, and just have fun in there.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Cool space.
So, if you could give a piece of advice for maybe a new business starting up, what would be something you would recommend to them? I mean, I'm just throwing you on the spot and I haven't told you about this, but
this is why we wanted to come on the podcast.
We were saying before, I can't stress enough, don't give up, because there's going to be days where you want to, and that's not a glamorous thing to say. I don't mean to discourage anybody, but if you are feeling like that, just know that it's normal and it's natural, and those days make the good days seem all that much better. And like Quentin said, you have to learn how to take a no. Mm-hmm. The amount of humility I think that we were able to practice, just being rejected, especially when we were younger, less experienced. There were tough days. But if you work on building that faith and exercising that muscle, I promise it does get better.
Mm-hmm. One of the things I recall when I started with an agency in town was you have to talk to 100 people. Of them, 90 will say no.
Right.
You'll have 10 maybes.
Yep.
Of them, 1 will say yes.
Yep.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky, right?
Yep.
It's that 100 to 1 ratio.
For sure.
And when you get good at that, maybe it's 100 to 2,
Yep.
but it would never be 100 to 100.
No,
right.
Get used to it real fast.
Get used to it. It's very true. It's very true. And in those early days, if you're in a service-based business or products for that matter, you really have to work hard. You have to work hard. You have to get your name out there and things like that. And where we had really false hope was we got our first client on the first day we went pitching.
Well, it's nice.
Doors. And we were like, no way. We're going to be flying. This is going to be amazing. And then we didn't get another client for an entire year.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, we love telling that story.
It's a hilarious story. So, yeah.
But you learn so much from it.
Oh, yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any other pieces you want to throw in there? Because you just gave a great piece of advice.
I think that is a fantastic piece of advice from a social media perspective. Like we said, get your handles right off the get. Even if you're just developing your name, maybe you're not registered yet, lock in those names, make sure you get them, and try not to include don't date your name. We find that a lot of clients, sometimes they'll do such and such 2018, such and such and such 2019. Don't do that.
Oh no.
Don't put a date. What else? Yeah, just know that when you start a business, it's not easy. And if it was easy, everybody and their cousin would be doing it.
Sure.
So just really, I think that's the best piece of advice.
But I mean, going back to hearing 1,000 no's, if that's the price that you pay to be able to do what you love, then that's worth it. Then 10,000 no's is worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there are some people who are afraid of rejection. To them, I say just try and put yourself out there, and it's not as bad as you think. But if you really are Quentin and I. Some of the people that we're trying to board onto our team, maybe they're not so inclined to work on the business, but they love their craft.
Yes.
Maybe they're great at video, they're great at creating content, and they want to focus on their art form and not so much the administrative kind of overhead duties of running the business. And maybe you're better off working under someone. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah.
So, it just dawned on me. What are some of your favorite projects you've worked on? Because
oh my gosh,
you've done so many different projects. So can I ask you what some of your favorite?
I'd like to talk about one. We're gonna get a little bit romantic here, so bear with us. But like Quentin said, as soon as we started pitching, shout out to Joe Finelli, shout out to Jane, shout out to Anita, shout out to everybody at Maple City.
They probably will never hear this or watch this, but still.
Shout out to the whole darn team there for having faith in us 2.5 years ago. When we were a lot younger and we came in there eager, bright-eyed, with not a lot of experience.
I believe we wore suits.
We wore suits. Okay, all right.
But it paid off, and Joe, the owner, put faith in us 2.5 years ago, and they've been loyal clients of ours ever since.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'm just so happy that we were able to grow with them, and that they chose to work with us early on.
Good. I'm glad to get to give them a shout out. So
for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
shout out to all of our other clients too.
And everybody else.
Else. We love everybody, but we do have a special spot in our heart for those guys.
Yeah, it's hard not to, right?
Yeah.
We're
romantic.
Of course.
We're romantic.
So.
First client's always special.
Well, cool. Anything else you want to talk about?
What else? Yeah, anything about building a social presence, anything is better than nothing.
Yeah.
If you're not professional, don't worry about it. If you don't want to get that cringe factor and you're embarrassed of putting yourself out there, just do it because everybody's doing it. If you scroll back on our Instagram far enough,
don't.
you're going to embarrass us.
Now everyone's going to be scrolling.
Right, but
there.
we keep it there as a relic of where we came from,
exactly.
and just to show the progression of how we try to get better all the time. Anything's better than nothing. Put yourself out there. Trust me, you won't regret it, even if it embarrasses you.
And that's even something that we need to take our own advice to.
For sure.
We had a show on Facebook that we were running. It was called Social Tips, where every week I would get on and I would talk about about social media and what you should be doing, best practices, yada yada yada. And that's something we need to be more raw. Like I would love to have a podcast. I would love to sit down and kind of talk about these ideas and put ourselves out there more. Yeah. Because that's what people like too, right?
Absolutely.
They like the vulnerable people. There's
that's
a lot of people in
Chatham-Kent.
Yeah. And there's a lot of brands in Chatham-Kent that are doing that really, really well. So
yeah.
I
was going to ask you. I just lost it. See, this is the part where I should edit this out. So in terms of improving and making things better,
yes.
How are you using metrics to do that? Are you using metrics? Are you looking at statistics? Are you looking at the Google Analytics? What are you? How?
Okay, I've got a great story for this one.
Okay.
Speaking of metrics, we in the past few months have been looking to change some of our social media management packages.
Okay.
In order to account for lower engagement that we were getting. So if you've noticed in the past year, maybe year and a half, if your engagement hasn't been what it used to in the heyday of Facebook and Instagram, so to speak, don't worry, don't get discouraged because it's happening to everybody. Mm-hmm. And basically what we were noticing, and now this isn't necessarily true of all businesses, but what we were noticing for a lot of businesses is that we would be getting less engagement than we used to. And we were doing, in our old social media packages, we were doing a lot of organic, non-paid content, just posting to the Facebook and Instagram pages without putting any ad spend behind the content. Mm-hmm. And that used to be enough. That was our bread and butter. And you used to be able to build a solid presence, get solid engagement, and grow at a consistent rate without spending any money on the platform. But we call that kind of like the golden age or the heyday of Facebook.
Yeah.
And, Facebook is a business, a darn good business, obviously. They know how to turn a profit, and they've spent all these years getting everybody's attention on their platforms. And now they've said, okay, time to pay.
Yeah.
For lack of a better word.
Yep.
So engagement rates have gone down. There was a big algorithm change where Facebook told their users who were tired of seeing a lot of business content that they were going to focus more on family and friends and show you less from businesses, which is great if you're using the platform for entertainment. Maybe you don't want to be constantly bombarded with the business stuff, but for people in our position and for business owners or anybody like that, it's harder to be seen.
Yeah.
So at risk of not rambling any longer, we found that we were going to compensate that by focusing on posting less, but by also running a lot more ads. So we had clients like the bakery, for example, where we haven't run any ads before. So we decided to start doing that, and we noticed the engagement went up like crazy. So a good example is Dam Home Hardware. Shout out to Tyler.
Shout out to Tyler Dam.
In the old Dutch market, right on Indian Creek. Yeah. We were originally doing organic posting with him. Started out with a bang. It was good, but then engagement slowly started to kind of cap off. We didn't know what to do, so we said, okay, let's tone down the frequency of the posting because Facebook's not showing it people as much anyway. And let's ramp up the paid ads. And just like that, engagement and likes sparked right back up.
So 2 things on that. When Jared says post less, that doesn't mean sporadically post. Like still have a schedule. Say you post every other day. Make sure it's every other day still. Be consistent. And
speaking of analytics.
What you said is true. And always be able to pivot because these algorithms are always changing. And you always have to be top of mind with that and move with them.
So using the analytics, you can look at your trickling engagement and say, oh, woe is me. Too bad, or you can say, okay, let's use this as an opportunity to think about how to curtail this and how to make it better.
Yeah.
And knowing, like Quinn said, being strategic about when you post on Facebook and Instagram, you can tell when your audience is most active. So we use that as a metric. For a lot of our businesses, it's 8 p.m., 9 p.m. Sometimes it's noon, kind of before bed and on lunch hour. Yep. That's when we find people are posting. It's different, but yeah, use those tools to your advantage. And don't ignore them. Don't be scared of them, especially if things are going the wrong way. Use that as an opportunity to make things better and try something new.
I find that 6:20 in the morning seems to be a extremely popular time.
That's a good try that one, yeah.
So it's I don't know why. I'm assuming people are waking up and
for sure
waking up with
still
hear the alarm, pick up their phone,
groggy-eyed
and scrolling and hitting like.
Yeah.
That seems to be
a like is a like.
A like's a like, and or interacting. I say groggy-eyed. I don't know. I'm making up a story on that one, but in terms of what I'm seeing, 6:20, 7:20 in the morning, that's sort of that window period, which makes sense. I mean, that's what radio and everything else, the morning drive. So now it's the morning social.
Hopefully you're not driving on your phone.
Hopefully you're not driving.
That is illegal.
Don't do that. Yes, but over breakfast or whatever they're doing.
Definitely.
So it's an interesting time. And as you said, 8 o'clock at night.
Definitely.
Also another hot spot. Business as well seems at least for us, noon.
Definitely.
Everybody's eating lunch.
Everybody's eating lunch. There's like a little blip right around noon.
Yep.
So post something maybe 11:20 in the morning. Get it into that algorithm.
Perfect.
LinkedIn. How weird is it? Do you notice that you don't see your other people's stuff till like it's 3 weeks later?
Yeah.
I have that all the time. I'll be like, why am I just seeing this now, LinkedIn?
Yeah.
So, and by the way, LinkedIn is in the glory days right now. Just so everybody's aware of that. Get active on that. Especially if you're B2B. If you're B2C, maybe not. But if you're in a B2B, which is business to business or service-based, get on LinkedIn and start putting content out there on that scale.
Absolutely.
Are you doing ads on LinkedIn? Are you finding...
We have not experimented with ads on LinkedIn. We've been just living in the organic heyday. But I think this time around, it's probably good to be a little more
full
proactive.
Disclaimer, we're still trying to teach ourselves the LinkedIn algorithm. It is a newer experience to us. But stake your claim early. And if you find... maybe in the future we're going to find that engagement rates are going down, then we would look to experiment with ads.
Yes. But we're always changing how we're doing things for us, for our clients. You have to in order to remain relevant and keep your business viable.
Absolutely.
And I think that's true for every business.
It really is, Yeah, we had a discussion with a business a while ago who just... status dress rental.
Yes.
They started up. They within a month and a half she went, I have to change my business model. Just a little bit. They tweak the business model, not drop all the work she's done over the course of the entire year, but tweak it, right? And recognize that has to happen. So, for the business planning side of things, it's so important.
Always be changing.
Okay, I'm just aware of our time, and
how long was that?
We've been chatting for quite a while, so I'll get the exact number. But thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Yeah, we'll have to do this again, especially at your new location.
Yes,
we'll come over and
we should shoot a podcast there.
We should shoot a podcast there.
Let's do it.
Let's
have the dev guys on. Shout out to Taylor. Shout out to Rosemary. They've both been instrumental in helping us out, giving us advice. Just being someone to listen to. The whole way. So
and Andrew is killing it on the ECDev socials too.
Thanks, man.
He's doing a great job.
Yeah,
his podcast is awesome.
We'd love to return the favor and have you on at the new setup sometime.
Perfect. Yeah. Come out of our high quality boardroom. It's not a high quality boardroom. It's just a boardroom. But we say high quality content, low production value. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Chatham-Kent.
Thank you, Chatham-Kent.